Bob Proctor was one of the most influential voices in the world of personal development. For over 6 decades, he dedicated his life to studying success, wealth, and the human mind. What made him unique was not just his knowledge, but his ability to transform abstract concepts into practical tools that anyone could use. In this video, we will dive into his teachings, uncovering the key principles that made Bob Proctor a true master of self-improvement. Born in Ontario, Canada in 1934, Bob's early life was far from successful. He left school at 16, took odd jobs, and lived without a clear direction. Yet, something shifted when he discovered the classic book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book became the seed that grew into a lifelong obsession with personal growth. Bob always said, "Reading that book changed my life forever," and from that moment, he set out to master the laws of success. One of the central ideas Bob Proctor taught was that success begins in the mind. He emphasized that thoughts are not just fleeting images. They are forces that shape our reality. The words, "If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand," offer a simple but powerful idea to encourage us to take responsibility for the images we project in our minds. By controlling our thoughts, we begin to control our lives. Bob often spoke about paradigms. Paradigms, as he explained, are mental programs, deeply ingrained habits of thought and behavior that control much of what we do. The challenge is that most paradigms are unconscious. They act like invisible chains, keeping us stuck in patterns of failure, doubt, or mediocrity. According to Bob, changing your paradigm is the key to unlocking true potential. Without it, even the best intentions collapse under the weight of old programming. To change a paradigm, Bob suggested repetition and emotional involvement. It's not enough to simply know what you want. You must impress it deeply into your subconscious mind. This is why affirmations, visualization, and emotional intensity are so important. Bob believed that by continually planting new ideas into the subconscious, you eventually overwrite the old limiting beliefs. Like planting seeds in a garden, the new thoughts grow and transform your reality. Another crucial element of Bob's teaching is the law of attraction. He popularized the idea that like attracts like, meaning that our dominant thoughts and emotions act as magnets, pulling similar experiences into our lives. For Bob, the law of attraction was not magic. It was a natural law, like gravity. By aligning your thoughts with your goals, you naturally attract the people, opportunities, and resources necessary to achieve them. The challenge is to maintain that alignment with unwavering focus. Bob also highlighted the importance of decision-making. He often said, "Successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly." The act of making a firm decision is what sets the universe in motion. Indecision, on the other hand, creates confusion and keeps us stuck. By making decisions with confidence, even without knowing all the answers, we demonstrate faith in ourselves and in the process of life. This boldness becomes a habit, and that habit builds success. Money was another topic that Bob Proctor never avoided. He saw money not as something dirty or greedy, but as a tool, a means of creating freedom and expanding possibilities. He believed that everyone has the potential to become wealthy, but the first step is to eliminate negative beliefs about money. If you see money as scarce or bad, you will unconsciously repel it. Instead, Bob encouraged people to see money as energy, something that flows in response to value and service. Throughout his career, Bob emphasized the importance of mentors and models. Just as he was mentored by Earl Nightingale, he believed that everyone should find examples of people who have already achieved what they desire. By studying their behavior, mindset, and strategies, you can accelerate your own growth. Success leaves clues, he often said, and it's our job to follow those clues with discipline and persistence. One of Bob's most powerful messages was about the potential locked within each person. He often reminded his audience that human beings use only a fraction of their mental capacity. Most people live far below their potential because they are limited by fear, doubt, and old conditioning. Bob challenged us to expand our self-image because he knew that we can never outperform the way we see ourselves. If you want to achieve more, you must first believe you are worthy of more. Visualization played a central role in Bob's practice. He taught that by vividly imagining your goals, you activate parts of the brain that prepare you to act in alignment with those images. Visualization is not daydreaming, it's mental rehearsal. Athletes use it, artists use it, and successful entrepreneurs use it. By rehearsing success in the mind, you make it easier to experience success in reality. Bob encouraged daily visualization rituals, combined with gratitude, to keep energy aligned with desire. Gratitude, in fact, was a recurring theme in his message. He described gratitude as the frequency that opens the door to abundance. When you feel gratitude for what you already have, you signal to the universe that you are ready for more. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, and this shift transforms not only your emotional state but also the outcomes you attract. For Bob, gratitude was not just an attitude, it was a practice, something to cultivate every single day. Bob's approach to personal development was holistic. He spoke about health, wealth, relationships, and spiritual awareness as interconnected. To him, true success meant balance, being effective at work, fulfilled in leisure, surrounded by deep friendships and aligned with higher purpose. He believed that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that our true power comes from understanding that divine connection. This gave his teachings a depth that resonated far beyond material success. Let's pause for a moment and consider. How often do we allow ourselves to dream without limits? Bob often said that most people aim too low and hit instead of aiming high and stretching. His advice was to set goals so big they excite you and scare you at the same time. A small goal won't challenge your paradigm, but a big, bold goal will force you to grow. That growth, not just the achievement itself, is the real reward. He also spoke about persistence. Success is not a straight line and setbacks are inevitable. But Bob reminded us that persistence always beats resistance. The key is to keep moving forward, even when circumstances seem against you. By holding your vision firmly and refusing to give up, you develop resilience. That resilience becomes part of your character, shaping you into someone who cannot be easily defeated. One of his most practical tools was the idea of writing goals on a card and carrying it with you at all times. He advised writing one clear, specific goal, phrased in the present tense, as if it were already achieved. By carrying that goal card and reading it daily, you impress the idea into your subconscious. This simple practice keeps your mind focused, your energy directed, and your actions aligned. Many of his students testified that this single technique transformed their lives. Bob was also a master storyteller. He used stories not just to entertain, but to illustrate principles in ways people could relate to. Whether it was his own journey from being broke and directionless to becoming a multimillionaire, or the countless stories of his students who achieved success, he painted vivid pictures of transformation. These stories served as proof that his methods worked for anyone willing to apply them. Over time, Bob Proctor became a global icon. He appeared in the famous film The Secret, which brought the law of attraction into mainstream awareness. But beyond the spotlight, he continued to teach, coach, and inspire through seminars, books, and programs. His impact reached millions, and his legacy continues to shape the personal development industry. He didn't just talk about success, he embodied it, living as an example of what's possible when you master your mind. So, what can we take from Bob Proctor today? First, the reminder that our thoughts create our reality. Second, that paradigms can be changed through repetition and emotional involvement. Third, that visualization, gratitude, and bold goal setting are powerful tools for growth. And finally, that persistence and decision-making are habits that separate the successful from the unsuccessful. His wisdom is timeless, and it challenges us to step beyond comfort into possibility. As we reflect on Bob's legacy, let's remember that knowledge alone is not enough. Transformation comes from action. Bob always said, "Don't just learn it, live it." The best way to honor his teachings is not only to understand them, but to apply them daily in the way we think, speak, and act. The journey to an easy and fulfilling life is not about shortcuts, but about aligning our mind, body, and spirit with our highest vision. If you want to embrace Bob Proctor's message fully, start today. Write down your goals, visualize them vividly, feel gratitude for your progress, and take bold decisions toward your dreams. Challenge your paradigms, raise your self-image, and commit to persistence. As Bob would say, you are the only problem you will ever have, and you are the only solution. The secret to an easy life lies within your own mind. And with that, we close this deep dive into the teachings of Bob Proctor. His voice may be gone, but his wisdom continues to guide those who are ready to listen. If you found inspiration in this journey, carry it forward, not just as knowledge, but as a way of living. Because the true legacy of Bob Proctor is not in his words, but in the transformation they spark within us. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment, and follow us for more personal training videos.